Alright, you guys know that I keep it honest on here. Today's Friday, August 26th, I believe is the date. And I started eating intuitively today. And I don't know, I just made this decision yesterday. I'm at a point right now that I'm happy with where I'm at. You know, I feel good. I love my body. It's more than ever. My workouts are great. Climbing is good. I've got a good balance with cardio and lifting and all of that jazz. And I just feel really good. And I don't know. I had planned on doing a cut a little bit longer, and I know last week I said I was going to pick like a set date, a goal, and I was going to do a photo shoot, a fitness photo shoot that I was going to continue to diet for. And you know, I was going to get real consistent on the macros, and with my training, just I guess increase the intensity and just keep seeing the fat loss week to week with just that goal in mind. And I thought about it yesterday, and I don't have the desire to do so anymore. I've reached a point right now where I'm happy and I feel good and I feel strong, and you know, I might not be as lean as you guys had expected me to get, or I had expected myself to get, or had hoped to get, but at the same time I'm happy right here. So why risk pushing that further, you know, and risk going back into the cycle of getting too strict with my tracking and all of that nonsense, if I can just see if I can continue with what I'm doing right now. And another reason why I started intuitive eating today was because this week I've been thinking about food a lot more than I have been. Up until this point, I've been pretty neutral when it comes to thinking about food and thinking too much about macros and weighing food and things like that. I've been pretty good about just seeing it as it is, not worrying too much about it, not planning crazy in advance in MyFitnessPal and doing all of that stuff. But this week I started to see myself slip more into being more obsessed with the numbers and obsessed with tracking. And you know, I would plan my whole day in advance, and you know, I would plan to have this for dinner, and if it didn't turn out that way, then I was starting to think about it more than I should. So just knowing that I was starting to kind of trend into more of the unhealthy mindset again, I don't want to do that. I don't want to risk that. I don't want to, you know, go through any kind of weird mentalities with food again or with tracking again. And you know, I'm sorry that I'm not going to keep pushing this cut on for you guys. So hopefully y'all will understand. But again, I'm happy, and I'm loving where I'm at and where life is and everything. It's just, it's so cool to be at this place and know that just a few years ago I had told myself that I just wasn't meant to be healthy. I wasn't meant to be fit. That I wasn't meant to have a good relationship with food because I couldn't stop binge eating. And to be able to stand here and tell you guys that I'm happy with food and my relationship with it, and I'm happy with my body, and I'm happy with myself and where this journey has brought me, it's almost surreal to me. And for anybody that hasn't struggled with issues with food or body image, you probably don't quite connect with this. But again, years ago, I was at a point to where I didn't think this was possible, to be happy with my body and food. So I'm pretty excited to be here and say this. And I don't know, you know, as far as intuitive eating goes, I hope to be able to continue practicing this for the foreseeable future. The hope is just to let food be food in the future, you know, just that definition of normal eating, just eating food, enjoying it, not thinking twice about it and living your life, I haven't been able to do that in a long time. And so that's my goal as of now. You know, my period is back. And if this is TMI, I apologize, but it was a little light this month and late. So I think that that was an indication. My body was telling me, hey, things are going well, but it might be getting to be a little too much at this point. So I don't know if it's, you know, the deficit or the increased cardio. But at this point, I'm gonna listen to my body, and I'm gonna listen to just how I feel. And again, I'm so excited to be able to tell this to you guys. So I hope that you guys understand that I'm not gonna keep tracking. I don't know what's to come with this series. I mean, I'm gonna keep my workouts in. I am backing off a little bit on the cardio. I'm gonna be doing about 25 minutes versus my 35, sometimes 40 minutes, just depending on how caught up in YouTube I got. But I'm gonna be backing off on the cardio a little bit. I'm sure that I'm gonna be eating more whenever I eat more intuitively. Some days it might be more, some days it might be less. I don't know. I'm not gonna be tracking, so I won't know. I'll do some full day of eatings for you guys, and you know, I'm still, I don't know how many more episodes I'll do of this series. I guess it kind of depends on how I feel after a few days of intuitive eating. If I feel that I can still bring something positive to this series and bring some information and anything to you guys with it, then I'll continue it. But you know, if we need to just leave it here, then that's fine. Hopefully, like I said, you guys understand, but that's the plan for now. And like I said, I'm so excited to be able to stand here and tell you guys that I'm gonna be eating intuitively, and I don't feel the need to track my macros. I mean, it's a little scary, again, because after so long of controlling your intake in one way or another, whether it's through tracking your macros or meal prepping or, you know, adhering to some very strict diet, the thought of just letting go of all of that is scary, but at the same time, it's very liberating. And whenever I went to intuitive eating earlier this year, it was the same thing. I just felt this weight lifted off my shoulders. You know, I don't have to go into MyFitnessPal. I don't have to weigh my food. Not that I had to, but whenever you want to be more consistent, whenever you have certain physique goals, the more consistent you are with tracking and entering and things like that, you know, the more that you can manipulate those numbers to reach that goal. There's nothing wrong with tracking your intake as long as you know that it's not a means to an end. It's not the ultimate goal. You know, we aren't supposed to track macros so that we have to bring a food scale with us for the rest of our lives and go out to eat whenever you're little old lady or little old man and try and fit something into your macros. That's not the goal. The goal is to be able to let go of that relationship that you might have had with food before, to take the food off of a pedestal and realize, oh, it's just protein, carbs, fats. That's what it is. I'm gonna fit it into my day. I'm gonna move on with life. That's cool. Hey, I fit it in a cookie. That's awesome. And not have that guilt associated with food that so many people tend to have now. So that's the intermediate step. But moving on from that, the long-term goal is just to go back to basics. Just eat as your body needs. Aim for whole, colorful, micronutrient-dense, delicious foods. Have some of the fun stuff here and there, and just live your life. Not let food control you, not let your diet control you, not let a physique goal control your life. So that's it. I don't know what else I'm going to be updating you guys for this week. Yeah, I hope you guys are as excited about this change as I am. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you have experience with intuitive eating, leave it in the comments below. If you have questions, of course, leave them below. I'd be happy to answer, and I will see you guys in the next